Hi everyone, what's up? My name is Alex and welcome back to a brand new throwback review. Last time I reviewed episode 3 of series 1, The Unquiet Dead. If you haven't seen it yet, then I highly recommend you do so. Today I'm reviewing the 4th and 5th episodes of series 1, Aliens of London and World War 3. Now before I begin, I must clarify that I specifically schedule all my reviews to be uploaded on the day where they were first broadcasted in 2005, which is usually on a Monday for me. However, since this is a two-parter, I have given myself a deadline to get this review uploaded by the 23rd of April, so I can focus on the next review, which will be everyone's favourite, Dalek. Also, I do apologise for the delay of this video, and I decided to do a combined review of these two episodes. In this review, you are getting all my thoughts and opinions of this entire two-parter. And so, without further ado, let's begin my review on Aliens of London and World War 3. This story sees the Doctor bringing Rose home after travelling through time and space to the end of the world and to 1869 to meet Charles Dickens in the last two episodes. However, 12 hours later actually turns out to be 12 months later. Rose has been supposedly missing for an entire year, with Mickey being blamed for murder. Then all of a sudden, an alien spaceship crashes into Big Ben, causing chaos in London, and the whole world is on red alert. The Doctor investigates the alien survivor from the ship and realizes it's much more than an alien invasion. It's a trap. The gassy Slitheen are set to rule the world and sell the Earth for profits. However, the Doctor, Rose and Harriet Jones must race against time to unmask the villainous Slitheen, but Mickey and Jackie hold the key to salvation and the world's only hope of survival. Now, looking back on this episode, I remembered hating this story because of the terrible aliens, and it just felt that Russell T Davies made a mockery of Doctor Who with silly aliens and an uninteresting story. Those were my initial thoughts at the first broadcast of this story. However, have my opinions changed since then? Well, in a way, yes. I specifically enjoyed rewatching this story as it's been years since I last saw it. There's definitely a nostalgic feeling when watching this episode again. However, at the same time, the farcing aliens, the silly humour and the awkwardness just ruined this story as a whole back then. The Slitheen are not the most recognisable aliens. However, I think they are the most original in terms of concept, design and the execution in the story. Farting is pretty much the only thing that really disturbs me, and when you have a lot of farting in the episode, I can't enjoy it as much as I want to. The Slitheen family are a group of Rassicalco-Valabatorians from the planet of Rassicalco-Valabatorius. Yes, I got that right. The Slitheen ultimately plan to invade the Earth to make profit and sell the Earth, with everyone dead, and the Earth is then sent off to be used as scrap metal, where the Slitheen achieve money and profit from this invasion. It's not exactly a full alien invasion, it's much more of a family business scenario in which they fake an alien crash landing, which they put the whole world on red alert, and they kill the Prime Minister so they can take over Britain within the crisis. Joseph Green, Margaret Blaine and Oliver Charles are among the only remaining Rassicalco-Valabatorians as they plan their attack and just have fun. In the middle of the world's largest alien invasion, they're all having fun, and then they attack General Asquith and change him into a Slitheen skin, and Oliver is then disposed of, which is a good move by the Slitheen. Having the General on their side gives them a lot more power control and authority, which automatically generates a lot of brutal action against anyone, especially the Doctor. Aliens of London is a great episode to really build up the story and create a lot of the focal points throughout the story. Credit to Russell T Davies again for his unique style of writing. He has his own set of continuity rules that I think work extremely well. It doesn't go against what's already happened in the classic series necessarily. It sort of exists in its own little bubble, and I think that's what really works about Russell T Davies' era of Doctor Who. You can just watch those 4 series on their own and you have a complete story of Doctor Who. The Doctor is outstanding in these 2 episodes as he's really thinking about the people of the world, as he's the only alien who cares about the people of the Earth, which definitely shows the human side of the 9th Doctor. It builds on the character of the 9th Doctor and makes him a better person. I really do like the subtleties within Christopher Eccleston's performance, particularly the moment where he enters the room with all the soldiers there, sort of hangs around awkwardly for minutes, and then they all get their guns out and start threatening him. Only a few screams later, the Doctor leads them all out and bosses them around. It's a really good Doctorish moment, which Eccleston sells perfectly, and I know he's not the biggest Doctor Who fan, and I understand it's pushing him away from the show slightly since he started, but I think he nails the character of the 9th Doctor. I love the final scene of Aliens of London where he's talking and considering the circumstances of the situation and figures out what these aliens want and how did they get here. It shows there's a lot more to learn rather it's just being an alien invasion. It's more like a trap, and the cliffhanger at the end of Aliens of London is really, really good. Revealing these aliens, and the music is just fantastic. It builds up the tension and suspension of these aliens coming into contact with the human race. The Slitheen are not all that bad in this story. They're just hideous to look at, and although in World War III they're much better in terms of being a menace, it's interesting how Aliens of London is naturally the build-up episode with many dark and dramatic moments, which sets the tone really well. I really like the CGI of the alien spaceship as it crashes into Big Ben. It's a really cool sequence, and the music is just perfect. It's one of my favourite scenes from the story. I also like the news coverage of how they bring the news of this massive alien invasion. It's very relatable as people watch television all the time, but you'll never get any news about an alien invasion nowadays. But imagine how would we react if aliens made a crash landing in real life. The thing is, this 2-parter can act as a demonstration of how to deal with alien situations if they do happen in real life. Also, this story has some really interesting characters, especially Harriet Jones, who later becomes Prime Minister in the period of the world's golden age. I like Harriet Jones. I think she's a really good and beloved character. She really has a good mindset of a good reporter, and it's quite interesting how she reacts to this alien invasion and how she deals with the problems that occur. This story is very political in a way because it projects a lot of different ideas and different options for the Doctor to make. He could save the world and yet at the same time lose Rose, so there's a lot at stake. Talking of Rose, at the beginning of Aliens of London, she's quite deluded as she doesn't realise how long she's been gone for, and this leaves a lot of the uproar and outbreak within the family, especially Mickey, who got blamed for suspected murder of Rose, which seems kind of dark when you think about it. And yet at this moment in time, does Rose automatically make up for what's happened? No, she just cries in the corner and said, oh, I was just travelling without a passport, and yet supposedly forgot to phone home for a whole year. Yeah, probably not the best excuse to get out of trouble. It's clear that their lives have changed since the last time because of Rose's missing occurrence. It seemed more like that Rose was quite reluctant to actually admit that it was her fault, and she could have done better. Even if it was only a couple of days, it's still a couple of days, it's still dangerous, and had she died in the end of the world, she would have left her family and friends in really bad shape. The only person who definitely improves as a character within this story is Mickey, because you see the development of his character and how he adapts to become a more braver, more responsible, and more sentimental character around Jackie and Rose. One of his best scenes is where he hacks into the computer to get onto UNIT's website, and as you know, there are many references of UNIT from the classic series, and I liked how Mickey knew about the Doctor working for UNIT back in the day. It just shows how much Mickey has learned about the Doctor, and yet it can be of good use. I can't deny the fact that Rose, Jackie and Mickey feel like real people. these do generally feel like real people that you can meet on the streets. You can really believe this whole power estate type setting and these characters, and it really helps to bring a sense of grounding to this out there science fiction show that I think Russell T Davies pulled off very well. It's a really interesting idea that sadly doesn't get explored as much as perhaps it could have been. It's very grounded and relatable to watch, which shows the type of writer that Russell T Davies was. It really makes it feel like a real event, and I think that what really worked about Russell T Davies' era of Doctor Who, even if most of the stories are too earthbounded at points, it always feels slightly grounded. It's got these fantastic elements, but there's a certain relatability to it, which I think is quite unique and amazing. Overall, I found this two-parter really enjoyable. My opinions have certainly changed since the last time I watched it. Perhaps it could have gone further. I think that's probably my main criticism I have with this story, as well as with the farting aliens and the silly humour, which for me kind of ruins the story slightly. But I had a lot of fun with it. At points it can be dark, dramatic, silly, personal, mysterious, and most importantly, relatable. There's a lot of great moments. The Slitheen aren't all that bad, and I really like the plotline in the story. These two episodes really interconnect together, and it almost feels like a short classic Doctor Who story. And I think many people undermine this story as it involves one of the most silliest aliens in Doctor Who's history, but the whole story is really well executed. My overall rating for this two-parter is an 8.5 out of 10. Please let me know what did you think about this story in the comment sections down below. Don't forget to like this review, and remember to please subscribe to this channel for more amazing videos. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you all next time for my next review, which will be everyone's favourite Dalek. Until next week, take care of yourselves. Goodbye!